So before I started this morning, or we started, look at that, my eye popped up again, which is interesting because the card I drew this morning, so these are my oracle, draw them kind of as a source of meditation. And this is the Unity card. And here I'll show it. Obviously, we are not all on this planet by ourselves. We are not born unto this earth and then suddenly people just disappear and we just have to live on our own. And we've got a situation going on where it's pulling some people together in this way, which is really cool. And like Ed said yesterday, he goes, I decided to call somebody I hadn't talked to in 2 years. Well, cool. You know, I don't know that I've had that moment yet, but for some people it's bringing us together, and with some relationships it's pulling it apart. So I don't know, the Unity card was kind of the right one today. And each one of these cards has a quote at the top. And it says, our common humanity is more important than all the things that divide us. And that's by Maried Corrigan. I'm going to have to look her up and see who she is. And it says, there is harmony and multiplicity. We're blessed individual expressions of the divine. Diversity is a celebration of the limitless possibilities of the universe. The unique unites us. In unity, the love in me resounds in you. In wholeness, the chords of peace sound through us all. Freedom is ours. And then the prayer at the bottom is, my guardian angel provides a loving, safe, and healing haven. In her hands, I am healed and made whole. I am at peace, and I see the peace in you. I am complete, and I see the whole of you. We lack nothing alone and are stronger together. We are one hope, one peace, one love. Right. Couldn't have made that up if I had to. Take a breath on that. One hope, one peace, one love. Isn't that what the 60s was all about? Love generation. They wrote all these poems and these songs. We've been slathered in them for so many years, 60 years. So bring hands into heart space. Touch palms together, but at first let the fingertips travel away. So for some of us, this might be hard. So I'm really glued together, but my fingertips are trying to travel away. And notice how uncomfortable this is. I mean, I am straining to pull to the point, like if you look at my fingers, it's, they're turning strange colors because I'm straining so fiercely to pull the fingers apart. It's not natural to be pulled apart like this. So then let the pinkies come to snuggle. Take a breath. And the struggle of the other fingers is still the struggle of all. Bring the ring fingers together. And notice the common struggle, but then as the other fingers come together, they press more firmly together to support the others. Press the middle fingers together, and then notice the struggle is, we're releasing the struggle because we're standing closer together with those other 3 fingers. Take a breath. On the release, put the thumbs together. Now in Vedic tradition, the pointer finger is the representation of the personal ego. And you notice that pointer finger wants to come in, but really here, this pointer finger represents you. And are we going to be part of the whole, or are we going to be separate? Breathe it in. Exhale, let all the fingers come together, and notice as the fingers touch, the entire palm relaxes. The work is done. It becomes easier to breathe. And we're here in community, right where we're supposed to be. On the next inhale, press the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Fill the lungs with air, and then bring that community of fingers back down in front of the heart. And then press up and away. Breathing. Pull down and in. One more time. Press up. And then separation, because separation is necessary. Release the right hand toward the back of the room and the left hand toward the front as we twist through the torso. Now try to keep the feet square on the floor, the soles of both feet. Oh, poopy. The soles of both feet are really pressed in. The knees don't travel any further apart. Inhale. Exhale, bring the fingers, pull that community back together overhead. Big breath. On the exhale, bring it down in front of center. Let everything relax. And then breathe in, press up. And then separate by choice. Left hand back, right hand forward. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop through the shoulders. Breathing it in. Feet firmly pressed, knees right over ankles. So even though we separate in the community fractures for just a little bit, we don't forget about the rest of the body. We breathe those hands back up, bring the community back together, and then exhale back down in front of the heart. Separate the feet slightly, tip forward, try not to slide out of the chair. Now slice the fingers forward and then let them point right down at the floor, and then lift them like an arrow right out in front of the body. Let it slide down, lift it up, slide it down. One more time, lift it up. Now let the right hand separate, open slightly to the side, pull a cactus arm into it so that the shoulder's not too uncomfortable. And then exhale, slice back through, join together again, and then inhale, pull the left arm back. Exhale, slice it through. This time, melt down, find the shins, the ankles, or the floor, and let the head hang heavy. Now, single pointed focus is beautiful for so many things. You know, we get in, we go, okay, well, I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to meditate on the healing of Mother Earth, or I'm going to meditate on the healing of my family. And single pointed focus can draw us too far away from community sometimes. And then sometimes we draw really far into community, and then we get wound into drama. Because communities have drama. And we get pulled away from our center, from our focus. So we got to find a balance in that. Next time you breathe in, start to put one hand on one thigh, the other hand on the other thigh. Roll the body up and in. Let the head be the last thing that settles. The sits bones curl down into the chair. And then envision from toes to foot bones, tarsals and metatarsals, your heel, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your patella, your femurs, your pelvis, your vertebrae, your bones, and your rib cage, sternum, shoulders, humerus, elbows, forearms, fingertips, right on up into the skull. Each one of your bones resides in the community of your body. Breathe in and know that the community in your body is whole. It is at peace. And it is loved. And once you've unified the body as a whole, walk the ankles closer together, bring the hands in, glue the knees in, scooch to the front edge of the chair, lean back, toes point, and then we lift the knees up. Now, if you can, glue the elbows to the kneecaps or somewhere on the thighs. If you need to lean into the back of the chair, please do. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. The right foot drops down. The hands clasp that left shin. I pull the left thigh into the body. Inhale. Exhale. Right hand stays on the left shin. I'm going to rotate and drop my left arm across the back of the chair as long as that is okay. Kind of a hovering twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwind. Gather up both shins again. Breathe it. Left leg comes down. Pull the right thigh into the belly. Modified wind relieving pose. Inhale. Exhale. Left hand stays where it is. Right arm drapes across the back of the chair. Find that twist again. Ooh, something just gave way in my back. Yay. Breathing in. And out. Unwind, grab onto that shin, grab onto the other shin, separate the knees ever so slightly. Oh, here we go. Fingertips point up. We're struggling in community. Fingertips come together, palms press together. Breathe it in. Feet come down, slice back down toward the floor, bow down one more time, breathing in, out. Feet plant, rumpus rises out of the chair, forward fold here. Or cut down here in the thighs, the shins, the feet, and if you want to stay in the chair, you're welcome to stay in the chair. And then little shift from side to side, bend the knees, shift through the hips, maybe turn one set of toes out and then the other. Gorgeous. And then come through center, bend the knees, and we're going to draw a circle on the wall behind you. This is going to be really weird, and if we did this in class, y'all would all be like, what? Put a pencil on the tip of your tailbone and start to draw circles on the wall behind you. Whee! All right. So we're churning some root chakra energy. Just drawing the circles, drawing the circles, drawing the circles. Oh yeah, down here where the Kundalini energy resides. 3, 2, 1. Hold center, real deep forward fold. You can do wide leg stance. You can have the feet close together, whatever's going to feel good to you. All right, bend the knees, circle the other way, and these are going to be weird because this is going to be your non-dominant direction. Churn the circles, churn the circles, churn the circles. There we go. Yes! It's like one knee, the other knee, one knee, the other knee. 3, 2, 1. Hold in whatever forward fold that you have provided for your body, for the community of your bones and muscles and tissues and cells. Knees bend, bring the elbows to the thighs, bring the palms together. The community all together right here in this little space. Knees bent, bring the hands into prayer position in front of the heart. Utkatasana, squat. Look across your room. Oh yeah, shoot those fingers up toward the ceiling. Stand it up, breathe in. Breathe out, shift right. Kick your heel behind you. Holding that one pointed focus up there, breathe in. Breathe out, we step back down before one pointed focus creates drama in the body. Other direction, kick it up and back. Breathing in. Breathing out, the foot comes down, bend the knees, slice down. Fingertips land on feet, shin, or floor. Breathing in. and out. Palms come together, knees bend, slide back up through the middle. We're going to release that Utkatasana squat. This time we're going to push straight up. Now, bring a little smile to the base of the pelvis by pulling the glutes in and pulling those inner thighs together. Roll the heels up and away from the floor. We do this one almost every class because ankle strength and foot mobility is an issue as we get older. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Oh, bring that community of hands back down in front of the heart. Heels land. Big breath. All right, let's move our chairs out of the way. For a little bit, we're going to use the chair to train us in a little bit. But for now, we're going to come up to the head of the mat. I'm going to take my socks off. All right. So we're stepping up. Step into the bones of the feet when you're ready. And I used to think it was a little strange when my instructor was, oh, we talk about the bones all the time. I was like, no, it's about being strong. It's about the muscles. And then when I certified with him, he explained why he does that. Because everything in the body is attached to the bones. So if I neglect the bone structure, I neglect the community that is surrounding it. So step into the bones of the feet. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down into the community of the upper body. Spread the palms nice and wide. Fill yourself with hope and joy and glitter. And then next time you breathe in, the arms travel up. Palms come together if they can. Right leg steps back about 30 inches. So we're going to go into pyramid pose. So both feet plant on the floor. And we're going to take the hands, slice down through the air. Reach for that front leg. If the hands come to the thigh, the hands come to the thigh. If they come to the shin, the foot, or the floor. Or you can keep the palms together, the ears in between the upper arms, and reach. So Ori's pulling out of the shoulder socket. She's letting her head hang heavy so that this inversion allows gravity to pull at those connective tissues in a healthy way. And then the next time we breathe in, we either walk back up the thigh or slice right up through the air, lifting up, driving those fingertips slightly back so that we open the belly some. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Then we come up through neutral. Roll the right heel in so it's perpendicular. Right hand sweeps down in front of the body. Parallel arms. Tip in for triangle posture. Oh, snap, crackle, pow! I think we're going to have to super glue Ori's hip back together after what I just heard. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Now sweep up and back. Rainbow. Woo! Right hand lands. Left arm reaches back. Breathe into those left ribs. And then sweep the right hand back up to meet the left. The right heel slips back. Feet step together, slice down, forward fold, bow it down. If you need to bend the legs or pedal the legs, or if you're down on the thighs, come down on the thighs. Breathing. Where's the love? Where's the peace? Where's the unity in the body? Unity in the community. Hands together, knees bend a little, slice those hands right back up. Pierce the sky. Step the left foot back. 30 inches or so, both feet glue together. Hands come down to the thigh so that you can walk down, or you slice down through the air. If I need to walk down my leg, I walk down my leg and find support where you need it. If you need blocks on the floor to help you with this posture, just don't put all of your upper body weight in it. I have seen blocks flip over on people, and that's why I don't teach with them. But if you've got those hands together, release what needs releasing. One more breath. Sweep those hands back up or walk up that leg. Stretch nice and tall. Roll that back heel in. Oop, we didn't stretch back to the thing. Don't worry about it. Oh, and then allow that left arm to sweep out parallel. We'll get that stretch here in just a second. Roll into triangle posture. Holding there. So triangle posture is about the oblique muscles. It's about the erector spinae muscles. It's about the unity between the pelvis and the thoracic body. I don't want my thoracic body just to fall off. I got to hold it, breathe it, and then tip backwards. Left hand comes down, right hand rises. So we'll get this stretch in here. Fill the ribs. You guys look great. I see a lot of armpits. It's beautiful. And then come back up tall, bring the palms together, twist toward the front, step it together, bow down one more time. Either slice it or knees bend to thighs, and walk down to the feet, pedal the backs of the legs, whatever makes you happy, and forward fold. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, right foot, long step back to put the knee down. So we've got a low warrior here. Pow, that was my body part this time. I'm gonna roll my mat up in a little bit and put it up under my right knee. Then I'm gonna slice my hands up, bring the unity back together in the palms. Nice low warrior. Now you can do with this what you need to do. If you need to pull this right hip forward so that you get that psoas stretch through that hip flexor, pull the hip forward. If you need to be more gentle in the motion, be more gentle. Inhale, exhale, right hand drops back, left hand drops forward. If you need to swivel that right foot in behind you so that you're not uncomfortable, that's a great place to go. Next time you breathe in, hands unite overhead, and then we're going to twist left. So the right hand drops forward, left hand drops back. Inhale, exhale. Hands slide up, unite overhead. Sweep the hands down, curl those back toes, step together in forward fold the best way you can. Console that right knee. All right, second verse, same as the first. Left leg steps back long. The knee drops down to the floor. Make these transitions as easy for your body as possible. And then hands unite overhead when you're ready. Good job. Beautiful. So even if you were sitting in a chair right now, you would simply just throw those hands up overhead and breathe. Find in the body what needs uniting to create more strength. Next time you exhale, that left hand reaches back, that right hand reaches forward. We twist through the torso, working on rotational muscles, trying to hold that low belly in because it's real easy to let all that go and let the low back bend. Next time you breathe in, the hands unite overhead and then twist to the opposite side. Move that back leg wherever you need to move it in order to find the balance. Hands unite overhead, breathe it in. Sweep the palms down to the floor. Let the right knee come back next to the left. Walk the knees wide, hands reach forward in puppy, or the heels reach back in child. If you need to do a restorative version of this, you could put a block up under the center of the body and hold over that. You could melt the body over a giant couch cushion. I personally like to hot potato, stack my hands and put my forehead on top of my stacked hands. So moving in through the psyche, which moves into the nervous system. What part of your life are you feeling the most united in? In a time that things are being pulled apart, where is your union? I heard that. That was lovely. Somebody thought with God. That's so nice. Next time you breathe in, let the head rise, let the forearms come to the floor, pad the knees as necessary, slide forward onto forearms, hands, and knees. I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see. So we've got forearms down. The head can either hang or it can lift and be in line with the spine. Walk the knees a little closer together. Press the right heel behind you in a nice long line. Breathing in. Breathing out. Turn those toes out. Bend that knee out into fire hydrant. See, there you go. Slow con job. Just put you in a fire hydrant. You're like, no. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Press that heel back. Now, swing that leg out 90 degrees from the right hip. Plant the fingertips. Roll the body up. Arms come parallel to the floor. Right hand drops down on the thigh. And we reach over the body. Gorgeous. Inhale. Exhale. Opposite way. So left hand can come to the hip and I can simply reach away, or the left hand can reach for the floor and I can reach out and over, trying to turn myself into a nice long line. Breathe in. Breathe out. Crumple that knee behind you. Slide the body down. Find your child or your puppy. Console your knees. Find a resting position. 5 deep breaths. Notice what wants to melt. Nicely done. Forearms come down. We slide up onto the knees. Knees walk close together. Left leg presses out and behind. Belly button draws in. Top of the right foot presses down into the floor to bring some brightness into that right quad. Oh, turn the left toes out, bend the knee, bring it out to the outside. Oh, fire hydrant. I know, after that weightlifting class, these are rough. Breathe it in, breathe it out, press it back, turn the toes down if you need to, but we're gonna slide that foot out to the side. Press up through the fingertips. Find that long line. Arms slice out on either side. Left hand drops. Right hand reaches over. Gorgeous. And then the next time you breathe in, start to transition, either just to the hip and a reach, or fingertips to the floor and a lift and press. Nice foot, Joan. Boom. She's got her Chuck Norris going on. Put it through the screen. Breathe in. Breathe out, knees come together, crumple down one more time. 3 deep breaths this time. Beautiful. Where's the union? Body, mind, and soul. Body, mind, and soul. Plant those forearms, shimmy the knees out behind you. Let the belly come down onto the mat. Oh, stretch yourself out. Turn your head to one side. If you want to do the tail wag, do the tail wag. I personally love a good tail wag. And just roll, loosening fascia, breathing deep. Beautiful. I'm so glad you guys are here. I just don't do yoga well alone. That's why I go to classes. And then pause your wagging, feel the buzzing in the flesh, the brightening up of the nervous system. And then stack one hand on top of the other, forehead turns down into the floor, walk the big toes and inner thighs together. Slide the head up toward the ceiling, and then slide your forearms in a little bit toward your, right up under your collarbones. Once they're in, then we're going to press down into the forearms and lift until we try to lift the ribs away from the floor. So we've got just a little bit of a boop, little bit of a rise. Inhale. Exhale. All right, this is going to be a little weird. Stay with me. Okay, right hand plants on the floor. Left hand is going to sneak out to the side. We're going to roll onto our right hip, stack our feet. See, magic. Wasn't that great? Left hand reaches up. Nice. And then lift that left leg. Oops. Bonk. Beautiful. Breathing in. Breathing out, leg comes down, tuck and roll back down onto the belly. Let everything slide down. Turn the head maybe to the opposite side. Find the breath. Gorgeous. Yep, Ori's got her roll going on. My body said, no roll, please. I just want to hang out. If you're rolling, let your roll come to a pause. Head turns down into the hands, big toes come together, arms slide up under the collarbones, press into the forearms, lift the ribs away from the floor, belly button pulls in toward the spine. Nice long line. Brighten up those quads just a little bit. And then left hand to the floor, right arm slides out, press, roll, right hand reaches up, and then the right leg lifts. Love it. Just love it. Breathing in. Let that leg fall on the exhale, tuck and roll, come back into center. This time, slide the palms together, press them out overhead, drop your head on the upper arms into a full pranam. If your head slides through, just make sure it doesn't ka-thunk on the floor. So I'm really stretched out. Tippy toes are pointed. Tops of the feet are pressed into the floor as best they can. And while you're stretching, pretend that you've got like hold of two ropes maybe. You've got a rope in between those prayer hands. You've got a rope in between your big toes. And you're being pulled in two different directions. And as you're being pulled in two different directions, your spine lengthens and allows your belly to sink a little closer to the floor. Maybe the belly button pulls in. Maybe the pubic bone tips in toward the sternum a little bit to flatten out the sacrum. Inhale. Exhale. Choices, choices. Either slice the hands up, pick the feet up, pick the thighs up, so that you're hovering on your hips and your ribs, or pull the elbows back like skydiver, or put the palms down with a little bit of a help with the rise. Cupcake under each hand, maybe. Breathe into the unity of the muscles, tendons, and bones in the back side of the body. The glutes are smiling. Oh, they're smiling. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hand stack, body rolls down. And then flip asana before we get too comfy. Flip onto your back. That's one of my instructor's favorites. So roll on to your spine side. And before you get too comfy, stretch. Toes point, fingertips come back together, pointing toward one end of the mat and the other end of the mat. And then the same thing on this side that we did on the other. You want to have a rope between the hands and a rope between the toes. You're being pulled in two different directions, and you slowly want your sacrum and your lumbar spine to sink closer and closer to the floor. It takes a little bit of effort. You may have to wrap the ribs down the front side of the body to pull with the abs. And then give yourself a beautiful deep breath. It's somebody's birthday on the earth. And then just flop. And just let all that work go. So go so still that if somebody walked into the room, they might walk over and stand over you and look really close to try to notice if you're breathing or not. If you can be that still, and your body, mind, your soul have come more into congruence. And there's less of a tug of war factor going on between the three. And then just a little bit of a reboot. Bring the ankles close together, flex both feet. Bring the hands up and bring the right shin up. Tuck the hands around the shin, pull the right thigh into the belly. Shoulder blades press down and back. The neck is nice and long. Nice long wind relieving pose. I turned sideways, so just in case. A little further outside the rib cage and see what that feels like. See if it kind of creates a transverse stretch through the groin. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now transfer the right hand to the back of the right thigh. Transfer the left hand possibly to the right foot and pull into a transverse supine split. Ooh, or maybe not. Breathing. One more breath. It's not about doing a stretch right or doing a stretch wrong, because there is no right or wrong. It's just about finding the limits and what your speed limit is. Bend that knee, both hands back on the shin for just a little pull into center. Then left hand stays on that right shin. Right hand goes out into T position. I'm going to move my little box here. And then roll the body to the left. So a little bit, of a spine twist. So I've got my left hand underneath my right knee so that I can't go any further. I have a tendency to want to try to perform in this posture because I don't know why. I guess I saw a picture of it once and, or who knows why I decided that. So I used to really crank myself into this, and then I noticed I used to experience a lot of back pain after class. So now I just keep this a little more neutral. Inhale. Exhale. When you're ready to roll up through center, take that left leg, put the left foot on the floor, take your right ankle, put it on top of your left thigh, and then pull everything in for a figure four. Hands clasped behind the left thigh. I know this, the unfortunate part is that my brain waves start to settle down as we settle down through this portion of class. My brain goes, stop talking. Oh, yes. Feel that hip. Feel the unity of the spine and the mat. The unity of weight and gravity. Inhale. Exhale. Release that leg. Both legs stretch out nice and long. Point the toes, point the fingers overhead. Here we go again. Stretching in two different directions. Lumbar spine pulls down toward the mat. We apply the abdominal wall to try to stretch just a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, feet flex. Left thigh pulls in. Wind relieving pose, opposite side. So the nice thing about wind relieving pose and being at home, nobody can hear you. I have to say I've been eating a lot of hummus lately. It has not been kind, but Lord, I love the stuff. All right. Pull that left thigh a little further out on the outside of those left ribs. Stretch through the groin space. And then that left hand comes to the back of the thigh just for support. And you can either just leave it there, or you can reach that right hand for the left leg. And you've got that transverse supine split. Some of us are going to be able to do it. Some of us aren't. No judgment, no harm, no foul. You want it to feel good. One more big breath. Yes. Bend that leg. Both hands draw that thigh back into the belly for just a moment. Then right hand grabs left shin, left hand goes out into T position, and then we roll a little bit toward the right. So if you need support and you need to put your thigh maybe on top of a cat or a cushion or a block, you could do that. I was hoping my cat would come to yoga this morning. She didn't want to come out of the house. Next time you inhale, start to unwind. Ah. Left ankle, right thigh, gather up the right thigh, figure four, pull it all in. Brain waves slowing down. Heart rate slowing down. Notice if you're clenching your teeth, and if so, release the teeth, release the jaw, release the tongue. As you release the legs, put both feet down on the floor, knees pointed at the ceiling, hands on either side of the hips, shoulder blades rolled down, belly button draws that lumbar spine down into the floor first, then brighten up the hips and the thighs and lift into a bridge posture. Notice if the weight in the feet is equal. Notice if you clenched the teeth again. Loosen up through the face. Check in with the skin around the eyes. Whether you're a chronic squinter or maybe a nose crinkler. Inhale. Exhale, roll that spine down. Put the soles of the feet together. Let the knees drop out. Baddha Konasana. Arms open up nice and wide. And then be like warm peanut butter in the sun. It's a good image, isn't it? Just squish. If the inner thighs are fighting back and you need to put something up under the inner thighs, do so. And then maybe shift and roll the hips just a little, wobble the knees. Give the hips a little bit of a massage across the back of the sacrum, the edges of the glutes, around the base of the tailbone. And just let the knees kind of decide which way they want to go. Roll the knees to one side, little baby spinal twist. I know we've already done one. This one's more so for the nervous system. This one's just to kind of hit the pause button on the body. Can you envision the unity in the body, starting at the base of the skull, traveling down between the shoulders, through the central twist right there at where the thoracic and lumbar come together, through the backs of the hips, the outside of the thighs. All of those body parts connected. Two more breaths. And because we don't worry about changeover between classes and whether we have to roll our gear up and go just in time, we get to just soak. Soak within the confines of the auric space within the skin. And when you're ready, knees come up through center and gently roll off to the other side. Finding some modicum of comfort. If you need support, find the support. And then allow the breath. Just the breath. Noticing that there's no one point where one inhale begins and one exhale ends. There's no clicking in the body that shifts it between inhale and exhale. There's no thought of, am I exchanging oxygen properly? Did I get enough O2 cells or O2 molecules for my cells? Two more breaths. And then when you're ready to transition out into Shavasana, simply unwind, support yourself in the way that you know best that works for your body. And look for the beauty within. The fact that we're beautiful inside doesn't change if I run out of toilet paper. It doesn't change if I'm not in the gym. I can shine just as easily in my house as I can shine in the street. So come into full union with your body and just shine for a while.
Begin to deepen the breath. Not just to reboot the body, but to embody fullness. And with the next breath, imagine that you're connecting the dots between your body, your mind, and your soul. And then one more time, breathing into body, mind, and soul. And then we'll end as we always do with 3 deep breaths. You can join me or not. Amens, hallelujahs, ohms are all welcome. We'll breathe belly, ribs, and collarbones. And the belly breath today will be a breath for the body. The rib breath will be a breath for the mind. And our deepest breath is going to be a breath for our soul and our connected humanity. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the mind. Breathe into the soul. It's a privilege to be united and connected with you guys in this way, in these times. It's a privilege to be here with Ori. I'm so very grateful for you guys. We'll be back here again tomorrow at 9 a.m. I love you.